VPs, Winter and Graham Morris, members of staff, specially invited guests, the McKenzie family and those who have received McKenzie scholarships, and you'll hear about that in a little while. College men, good morning. Let's go again. College men, good morning. We're going to this morning recognize and announce this year's winner of the Professor Colin McKenzie Scholarship. Now, I was at JC with Colin McKenzie. He was a youngster to me, always intuitive, always questioning something, always, he was an ordinary schoolboy in terms of being involved in everything. He would be at every match. He played lawn tennis for us, but he'd be at every single match. You'd see him everywhere. I can without fear say that he's one of the brightest persons I've ever met. And you could see it from school just because of the questions he asked and how easy everything was for him. I don't think he was a big studier at school. I don't think so, because he couldn't have found time to do that amount of studying, but he always did excellently. He became a professor. I think he's the youngest professor ever to be appointed at the UWI. This morning we're going to make the announcements, and we have some of the past winners of the Colin McKenzie Scholarship. And so Yatney Hill is going to. Oh, Ian is here. I don't see him. Oh yeah, man. He's getting slimmer. So Ian is going to do a little background on Colin McKenzie. Welcome him, gentlemen, a college man at heart.
Good morning, Jamaica College. Is it me that's slow, or is it the principal? Because he called me Ian Forbes. My name is Ian Andrews, and I'm a proud old boy of this school. And, I'm overcome with emotion today because Colin was my good friend. And I would have loved him to be here to give this award personally, but unfortunately, he's no longer with us. My time with Colin at school was memorable in a number of ways. The intellectual that he was. I remember a story. We were having a discussion about football. And the greatest player in the world at the time was one by the name of Pele. Anybody remember Pele? No? You don't know Pele? Who don't know Pele? Put up the man. Oh, Lord. Well, Pele was regarded as the greatest player, even to this day. And we were having a discussion. Yeah, some people say it's Messi and Ronaldo, but we oldsters, right, Mr. Principal, think it's Pele. And Colin said to me, do you remember that goal that he scored, or he almost scored, against Czechoslovakia in the 1970 World Cup, when he took the shot from half line and almost scored against the goalkeeper called Victor? And I remember saying yes. And he said to me, that was a scintillating shot. Something transcendental. And I'm looking at this man and I'm saying, which 15-year-old boy describes a goal or an attempt at a goal as scintillating and transcendental? You would have talked like that to your brethren? You? No, sir. Nobody talks to them friend and brethren like that. So I'm looking at this man and I'm saying, what is he talking about? So obviously he saw the bemused look on my face. And then he said, my friend, I see your vocabulary is very limited. What an insult. But that was Colin. He was very witty. And so, like I said, it is really a pleasure to be here today so that this award can be presented right here in this splendiferous, hallowed halls of Jamaica College. You notice how my vocabulary improved now, though? Nice. All right, so I'm going to ask Mr. Principal, his mom, his beloved mom, Dr. Hermione McKenzie. She actually taught me at the university, and his beautiful widow, Michelle Musang McKenzie, and one of his cohorts at med school, Dr. Palmer, who is here now. If you could come up on stage. Come give them some clap. Give them some love as they come up. Well, guess what? This year, it's not one, but two recipients of the prestigious Professor Colin McKenzie Award. And we're also going to be renewing one. Yes. So can we get a drum roll? Can we get a drum roll? This year's recipients, the drum roll is sound weaky. Not true. Sound weak. All right, you have some work to do there. You have some work to do there, Vice Principal. This year's recipients are Mr. Javier Thompson, and Mr. Michael Andre Edwards. All right. Come up, gentlemen, and we're going to ask Dr. Palmer in tandem with Dr. Michelle Musang McKenzie to present this year's scholarship award. Come on, man. Get them on them some JC big ups. Big up. And Mr. Michael Andre Edwards. Full amount, you see, man. Come on, man. Clap the man better than that, man. Ciao. And we're going to ask Mr. Yasnil Walters to come forward because we're going to be reigniting that scholarship for him. So Walters, he got it last year, but we're not finished with him yet. So you know what, bossy? Scholarship man, that in a man, you see him? And we are told that it's worth 150,000 US dollars. No, I'm joking. It's just Jamaican dollars. It's just Jamaican dollars. Yes. Come on, clap the man, man. Wonderful. Is there anyone from the recipients? Oh, yes. We're going to ask Dr. Palmer, one of his batchmates in med school, to come and speak to us, all the way from the United States to be here. Clap him, JC Manto.
Okay. Hello. Okay. Thank you very much. I was at this school between 1976 and 1983. Yes, I had light at that time. Didn't go here by candlelight or horse and buggy. So I was 2 years ahead of Colin, so I didn't know him till when we reached medical school in 1985. So we more or less did most things together by then, but I knew then that he was someone exceptional. You know, we always went a lot of places together. At that time, when we had exams, you know, World Cup was going on, so we sort of had to work exams around the World Cup, so not the other way around. But I always knew that he was always say, oh, I have to study. Then he ends up with A's and B's. And as you know, he's an honors graduate in medicine. So he's always been close to me. I miss him dearly up to this day. I knew his lovely wife, Michelle, independently of him, but I saw that they were an ideal match together, and they still are, and I'm still very close with her and her family. So this scholarship is well-deserved and earned by 3 outstanding young gentlemen, and I hope they use it as stepping stones to achieve greatness in their life. All right. Thank you.
So, gentlemen, I want to recognize 2 previous scholarship winners, and I also want to recognize Dr. Hermine McKenzie, who I think taught almost all of us older folk at UWI at some time or the other. Please acknowledge her. It's Colin's mother. And she's been an exemplary educator and has guided a number of us through at UWI. I also want to recognize two previous recipients and ask them to come up here. Javier Brown, come up please. They're looking bigger for me now because they were youngsters a couple of years ago. Yeah, man. And Orville Daly. Orville, as you'll hear me speak about a number of times, was last year's matriculant at the university and past winner of this award as well. Please acknowledge all of our winners and awardees. As was said earlier, this scholarship is worth $150,000. Yatnil, I think, is going to respond on behalf of all the recipients.
Good morning. All protocols observed. Firstly, I want you all to acknowledge the fact that this family, the McKenzie family, they don't have to do this for us. They chose to. We virtually they have no obligation to look out for people who are not related to them whatsoever. But yet still they did it. And first of all, I want to acknowledge that and extend my greatest thanks to them. Give me a round of applause, please. Now, in lower six, I needed the aid to be able to pursue my education, and I was provided that by Dr. Michelle Musang McKenzie, who I think is my second mother at this point. Every morning she sends WhatsApp images about, the birds them and a little inspirational message, and I appreciate that. So I want to thank them again, and also to the fifth formers, we're going to lower six next year. Please do your best and join the family. All right? Thank you very much.
I would be remiss without mentioning as we close that a lot of you would remember Professor McKenzie's son, Duncan McKenzie, who was our football captain and our straight-A student. As a matter of fact, he's one of the few students who earned $90,000 almost every year for having a 90 average from first form all the way to sixth form. And was our football captain. I also want to mention what Professor McKenzie, the late Professor McKenzie, represented to us as JC boys. You hear me say all the while that we're college men and we're good at everything. That's what he represented. He represented a college man who, by his participation in school, was an inspiration to everybody around him. His personality was that of humorous, witty, engaging, compassionate, decent. Yet he would get up to all the pranks that boys would get up to. You wouldn't know that he's so special unless you engaged him, because he'd be doing all the things everybody else is doing. But as I told you earlier, he's one of the brightest human beings we have encountered at Jamaica College. I want us to acknowledge the family, acknowledge these scholarships, gentlemen. Let's do the work. Remember what they're called? Scholarships. School first. This morning was a very good morning, gentlemen. Thank you.